Today I want to figure out which island is the best. There is a lot of debate, so let's bunk it. Starting with comparisons, what makes them all different from each other? With horse spawns, our testing size will be 10 horses per island. To keep it fair, since all spawn points vary, what we are looking for is what tier the horses are, how much they sail, the rarity of the coat. These are all good things to look for, so let's get started. First island in our experiment is mainland. So on mainland I caught 10 horses and then I proceeded to sail them to Larry once I caught my 10 that I needed. This is just a little bit of a clip of me catching all 10 horses to show proof that these 10 horses did come from mainland. After catching all 10 horses, I proceeded to go over to Larry on mainland and sell them. I sold all 10 of them and they were all low tiers. So there wasn't really anything special about them and they ended up selling for 3,335 tokens. The next island on the experiment is Blizzard. So once I went to Blizzard, I ended up catching 10 horses to keep the experiment size equal to each other. Once the proof is over being shown from Blizzard, then I will move on and show you the price of all these 10 horses and how much they sold for. Okay, so that was last of the horse, so I ended up selecting all of them. There were, I believe, one middle tier, and they sold for 5,200. After that island, I went to desert, and you can guess it, I did the same exact process of catching 10 horses and then selling them to see how much they would go for, and also checking out the tiers of the different horses. After catching the 10 horses, I went to go sell them to Larry. There were no other tiers other than lower tier, and I sold them for 2,273. For our next island, it was Forest Island, and I did the same process over again, so here are the horses I ended up catching for my 10. I also want to add that if I did catch any event horses, I took them out of the mix because event horses aren't all year round. I also did this in a private server, so no outside forces could act upon this experiment, so that meaning no other players were there to catch the horses before me or to boost my chances for getting a rare horse. This was all done in a private server, so this is about any outside forces acting upon it. This is just me catching 10 horses. At the end, I ended up catching 3 middle tiers and the rest were all lower tiers, so my end up price being 3,830 tokens. The next island on my agenda was Ora Island, so I repeated the same exact process there. Now that I caught the last horse, I ended up selling them and I ended up getting 3 middle tiers this time and the rest were low tiers, and with that gave me a total of 3,013 tokens. After Ora Island, we started heading over to the islands with a higher level, starting with Mountain. We of course did the same exact process of catching 10 horses on this island to make sure that all testing points are all fair and equal. After this island, we ended up getting 4 middle tiers, which was the 3 Andalusians and the 1 Fjord. So let's go check out the price and see how much this was. The final tokens was 4,390. After that, I ended up heading over to Jungle Island to catch another 10 horses to see how much those were. looking at the data so far, it seems like Blizzard is in the lead from the test experiment with no outside forces, which seems unpeculiar. A little bit strange because Blizzard is second island unlocked, first one being mainland after the little startup, and then Blizzard. So it's very interesting that Blizzard is at the top right now. That could be pure luck, but this is a testing experiment with 10 horses so far. Okay, so we caught our last horse, so let's go look at the horses that we have left. So most of them are low tiers, but we do have some middle tiers making up half of the low tiers. So we have 5 middle tiers, 5 low tiers, and we sold them for 4,127 tokens. Moving on, we are going over to Lunar, and we are catching 10 horses. We're going to see how much tokens that these 10 horses give us, and let's see on what it ranks on our board. With the last horse being caught, here are the statistics. 5 of them were low tiers, 4 of them were middle tiers, and 1 of them was a high tier. Now we can see what Larry gives for all of those horses, which was 4,234 tokens. Now we are going to our last island, which is the highest level, which is Volcano Island. So we are going to collect 10 horses on this island and sell them to see how many tokens they give us. I do just want to say the information may change in the future because WildHorseIslands is planning on adding more islands for us to enjoy. So this may not be the highest level in the future, but for right now it is the highest level island. With the last horse being caught, here are the tiers. There were 6 low tiers, 2 middle tiers, and 2 high tiers, which is really good looking at how high tiers are one of the more value types of horses. We got 3,678 tokens from that, making the leaderboard final. The final leaderboard is in the upper right corner as I go through and show all the Ora Stones and materials that you can get from every single island. I just wanted to show this because this is also to be taken into consideration, as the ores, they will be found on every single island above their level. So I went in island level order from mainland all the way to volcano. Now when it comes to the gem shaped ores or materials, those are island specific. For example, the ruby is found on desert, the clear quartz is found on royal, the topaz, the emerald, the amethyst is found on jungle, sapphires and diamonds are found in mountain. These are all specific ores or specific materials for each island. So those you can only find on there, but the ores you can find them on every single island above that island's level. I hope this helps, and keep this in mind when you're going to get more materials for your horses and for yourself. Now this is the top islands to make the most money. I would highly suggest though the higher level islands because it seems like their rarity spawns are higher and they have the better materials, so those ones will make you the most money. Thank you so much if you made it to the end. Please consider liking and subscribing if you made this far. Also, comment down a orange heart if you made it to the very end. Thank you all so much for supporting this channel and this video. This video took me over a week to make because I was very low on resources. So every single view, like and subscribe for this video, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I'll see you all next time. Bye!